Stop scrolling for a second, because what I'm about to tell you isn't the usual dating advice you see online. This isn't about cheesy pickup lines, showing off your money, or being the loudest guy in the room. Most men think that's what works, but it's all noise. It's misleading, and honestly, it won't get you the results you want. The real truth? Attraction is not about the obvious moves. Women notice the quiet signals, the tiny gestures most men don't even realize they're sending. These are the little things that stick in her mind long after you're gone. Hours later, maybe even the next day, she'll be thinking about you, wondering why you feel different from every other guy she's met. Here's the problem most men have. They try too hard. They flash, they talk, they perform, thinking that will make women notice them. But what actually works happens in silence, in the way you look at her, the way you move, the way you carry yourself. That's the real power. Today, I'm going to break down the exact nonverbal gestures that make women curious about you, the ones that make them feel something deep without you saying a single word. These aren't random tips. They are psychologically proven moves that turn casual attention into real attraction. So stay with me until the end, because once you learn these, women won't just see you, they'll feel your presence, and it will change the way they think about you forever. 1. Holding strong eye contact, the triangle gaze. Most men completely underestimate the power of eye contact. They glance at a woman quickly and look away, afraid of seeming creepy or too intense. Some avoid eye contact completely because they're nervous. But here's the truth. The eyes are the first battlefield of attraction. If you don't know how to use them, you've already lost. Psychology proves it. Holding eye contact just a little longer than expected creates intrigue. Not a stare that's desperate or aggressive, but a calm, confident gaze that says, "I see you. I'm not intimidated by being seen." Picture this. You walk into a coffee shop. She's sitting at the counter, scrolling through her phone. Your eyes meet, and instead of looking away like most guys do, you hold it for just one heartbeat longer. That tiny moment plants a spark in her subconscious. She may glance down, tuck her hair behind her ear, or bite her lip. That's your silent magnetism at work. Here's the advanced move called the triangle gaze. First, lock onto her left eye, then slowly shift to her right eye. Next, drop your gaze briefly to her lips, and finally, return your gaze to her eyes. Her brain interprets this as romantic tension. Primal and irresistible. Women feel it instantly, even if they can't explain why. The power here isn't about looks or words, it's about presence. When your eyes communicate certainty, you don't need to speak to be remembered. Conversations stop being about what you say and start being about how she feels around you. Master this, and you'll notice women will naturally lean in, smile subtly, and mirror your energy. This is attraction in its raw, silent form. 2. The masculine half smile. Subtle confidence. Forget everything you've been taught about smiling. Most men believe that the bigger and wider their grin, the more attractive they'll seem. They stretch their lips until their cheeks hurt, thinking a forced, enthusiastic smile will win her attention. But here's the truth. Women can instantly detect fake smiles. A fake smile is like a cheap suit. It never fits right, and it shows immediately. What really captures a woman's attention isn't a big, over-the-top grin. It's a calm, controlled half smile, the kind that barely lifts one corner of your lips. It communicates, "I'm comfortable. I don't need to prove anything to anyone." Imagine this. You're at a lounge standing with a few friends. She glances at you across the room. Instead of giving her a big, loud, "Hey, I'm friendly" smile, you let the corner of your mouth curl into a subtle smirk. Your eyes stay calm and steady. You're not performing. You're simply existing with quiet confidence. This small gesture spikes her curiosity. Women are experts at reading micro-expressions, tiny emotional signals that flash across your face in a fraction of a second. A genuine half-smile sends a subconscious message. "I'm enjoying this moment. I'm not trying to impress you, but if you're sharp enough, you'll notice my vibe." Here's the golden moment. After you say something witty or she teases you, hold that half smile for just a second before letting it fade. That pause leaves her suspended in the energy you created. She leans into your frame, wondering what's behind that smirk. Think about movie characters women obsess over. The mysterious hero, the calm leader who never explains himself fully. They don't beam wide smiles like clowns, they smirk. They let silence and subtlety do the heavy lifting. And the bonus? If she responds with her own smile, especially a playful one, she's mirroring your energy. That's not friendliness, that's subconscious alignment. She's drawn to you because she feels your presence, even without words. A masculine half smile, delivered with authenticity, carries more weight than looks or lines ever could. Women aren't falling in love with your jawline, they're falling in love with how you make them feel in these micro moments. 3. The slow head tilt, showing you're truly listening. This next gesture is so simple that most men completely overlook it, but it can instantly change how a woman experiences you. I'm talking about the slow head tilt. Most guys, when they're talking to a woman, or worse, when she's talking to them, sit stiff like they're at a job interview, shoulders tense, neck locked straight, nodding mechanically. They think being rigid makes them look serious or masculine, but in reality, it makes them look cold, uninterested, or disconnected. The slow head tilt changes everything. It's not dramatic or exaggerated. It's just enough movement to say, I'm not just hearing you, I'm truly listening. Picture this. You're at a backyard barbecue. The sun is setting, music hums softly, and the air smells like grilled food. She starts telling a story, maybe something funny or personal. Most men would stare blankly or scroll their phones while half listening. But you relax your shoulders, lean slightly forward, and tilt your head just a little, keeping your eyes calm and steady on hers. In that instant, you give her something rare, the spotlight of attention. You're signaling that her words matter, that she's not just background noise. Women are masters at picking up subtle signs of attention, and this small gesture draws her in instantly. There's more to it. The head tilt is an evolutionary cue. Across cultures, history, and even in animal behavior, tilting the head signals openness, receptiveness, and trust. By showing the side of your neck, one of the body's most vulnerable areas, you communicate comfort and focus. She feels it, even if she can't put it into words. Watch what happens next. If she leans slightly closer, mirrors your posture, or angles her body toward you, those are subconscious signals of alignment. She's drawn to you because your presence is rare and intentional. Here's an advanced tip. Combine the head tilt with slow, steady breathing. When she's speaking passionately, tilt your head slightly and let your breathing calm. That stillness creates a kind of gravity. She'll naturally share more, open up more, because she feels your attention like a warm spotlight. Later, she may not remember the exact story she told, but she will remember how it felt to talk to you. And that's exactly why the slow head tilt isn't just body language. It's emotional leverage. Done right, it turns casual conversation into real connection. And connection is the bridge to attraction. 4. The subtle touch of the neck or jawline, a primal trigger. This next gesture is one of the most magnetic nonverbal moves you can make. And the crazy part is, most men already do it naturally without realizing its power. I'm talking about the slow, casual touch of your neck or jawline. Let's be clear. This isn't about fidgeting, scratching nervously, or tugging at your collar. Those moves scream anxiety, and anxiety kills attraction. The move we're talking about is deliberate, calm, and controlled. Almost like a subconscious slip, but you're fully aware of it. Here's why it works. Women are biologically tuned to notice certain male features. The jawline and neck are at the top of that list. A strong jaw signals testosterone, strength, and dominance. An exposed neck signals vulnerability and confidence. When you subtly draw attention to these areas, you're hitting a primal attraction trigger. Imagine this. You're sitting across from her at a quiet cafe. She asks you a personal question. Instead of answering immediately, you pause. Your hand slowly grazes your jawline, or lightly brushes the side of your neck for just a second. Then you give your answer, measured, calm, and thoughtful. What just happened? You've created a non-small but powerful moment. Her eyes unconsciously follow your hand to your neck and jawline. You didn't flex. You didn't overcompensate. You simply guided her attention to one of the most masculine parts of your body in a natural way. Here's the fascinating part. If she starts mirroring you, touching her own neck, playing with her necklace, or brushing her collarbone, that's her subconscious aligning with yours. She's physically responding to the energy you just created. Another scene, you're leaning against a bar, relaxed. She's talking and laughing beside you. Casually, you bring your hand up to your jawline, while smiling subtly. Not rushed, not forced, just smooth and intentional. Her gaze follows. Her posture shifts slightly closer. That's attraction being communicated without a single word. And here's the key: smoothness and rarity. If you keep touching your face repeatedly or nervously, it backfires. One or two deliberate touches during a conversation are enough. Less is more. The psychology is primal. Exposing or drawing attention to your neck shows openness, while touching your jawline signals strength, confidence, and masculine focus. Together, they hit her subconscious on two powerful levels at once. Here's an advanced tip. Pair this gesture with the cross triangle gaze we discussed earlier. Look into her left eye, shift to her right, drop briefly to her lips, and as you bring your gaze back up, slowly graze your jawline. That combination is devastatingly effective. It fuses eye contact, tension, and primal cues into a single unforgettable moment. When you master this, women won't just notice you. They'll feel your presence. And attraction will happen naturally, silently, and effortlessly. 5. The confident walk, owning the space without a word. You don't need to speak a single word to capture attention the moment you enter a room. The secret? The way you walk. Most men don't realize it, but women notice in everything about how a man moves. Your walk isn't just locomotion, it's communication. It tells her volumes about your confidence, mindset, and presence before you even speak. Picture the average guy. He shuffles into a bar, shoulders hunched, head down, eyes glued to his phone, almost apologizing for existing. His stride is uneven and rushed, as if he wants to go unnoticed. To him, blending in is safe, but what he's really broadcasting is insecurity. Why? Now contrast that with a man who understands presence. He steps into the same bar with his shoulders back, chest open, chin level. His eyes are calm, scanning the room with quiet certainty. His pace is steady, unhurried, like he has all the time in the world. And his arms swing naturally at his sides. Every step communicates, I know who I am, and I belong here. Picture this scene. The bar is crowded, music pulsing, people shoulder to shoulder. A group of women laughs near the entrance. The insecure guy stumbles past without notice. You, on the other hand, walk in smoothly, deliberately, confidently. One of the women glances up, then again. She doesn't know why, but something about your presence catches her subconscious attention. Here's the secret. You don't need swagger or an exaggerated strut. That try-hard confidence looks cartoonish and obvious. What works is calm composure. Your walk should say, I'm comfortable in my own skin. I don't need to announce myself. I simply am. Here's a practical breakdown. Shoulders back, chest slightly open, head level with chin slightly up, stride steady and smooth, not too fast, not too slow, arms relaxed. This posture communicates self-assurance and control. The psychology behind this is simple. Humans read movement as status signals. Leaders move with calmness. Hesitant people fidget, rush, or shrink. Women are instinctively drawn to the calm, confident frame of a man who knows where he's going. Think of movie heroes. They never rush awkwardly into a room. They walk in as if the scene already belongs to them. Here's a pro tip. Before entering a new environment, pause at the doorway. Adjust your clothing, straighten your posture, and then walk in with intention. That tiny pause sets the tone. It gives you control of the frame before you even move. When you move like this, women notice subconsciously. They may glance at you repeatedly, their attention drawn without you saying a word. That's the silent power of a confident walk. It claims space, radiates presence, and creates attraction before a single line is spoken. Line is 6. Adjusting clothing. Slowly, the subtle display of self-care. You've probably done this 1,000 times without even noticing it. Rolling up your sleeves, fixing your collar, adjusting your watch, or straightening your jacket. To you, it might feel like nothing, but to her, when done with the right energy, it's hypnotic. Here's the truth. Women notice how you take care of yourself, not just the clothes you wear, but how you wear them. Every adjustment, every slow movement broadcasts signals about your calm, confidence, composure, and presence. Most men miss this because they rush, they fidget, tug at sleeves, or move nervously. That screams insecurity. The key is in the pace. Move slowly, move deliberately, make it look intentional, like every action has meaning. Imagine this. You're at a restaurant, the conversation is flowing, and candlelight flickers across the table. In the middle of your exchange, you casually roll up your sleeves, one fold at a time. The fabric slides smoothly, revealing strong forearms. You adjust it precisely, then lean back, calm and relaxed. You didn't do it for her, but she noticed. Here's why it works. Women are biologically drawn to forearms and wrists. They're primal indicators of strength, masculinity, and capability. By revealing them slowly and effortlessly, you tap into a subconscious attraction trigger. Without saying a word. Another example, you're walking into a party. Before stepping fully inside, you pause, smooth your shirt down, adjust your watch, and make sure your jacket sits perfectly. That small, deliberate pause broadcasts, I am composed, I am prepared, I belong here. Here's a pro tip. Combine this movement with eye contact. Adjust your sleeve or collar slowly, then glance up to meet her eyes. Hold her gaze for a brief moment before returning to what you were doing. You've just layered our two powerful signals, self-care and presence, into a single frame. The psychology is simple. Slow, deliberate movements communicate confidence. Fast, fidgety movements communicate nervousness. Confidence is never loud. It's quiet, controlled, and felt. And remember, this isn't about showing off expensive clothes. The magic lies in the rhythm and smoothness of your movements. A simple shirt adjusted with composure will outshine the flashiest designer outfit worn with insecurity. Think about James Bond. He never rushes his movements. Buttoning a cuff, fixing a tie, adjusting a jacket, all done smoothly, deliberately, and confidently. That's why people lean in when he moves. He creates presence through subtlety. Here's your challenge. The next time you enter a room, don't just walk in. Pause, adjust, and move slowly. Make it part of your natural rhythm. That single adjustment could be the very moment she locks her attention on you, even if she pretends not to notice. 7. Leaning back casually. The power of relaxed dominance. Most men make the same mistake around women. They lean too far forward. Their posture screams eagerness. They hover, tense, almost begging for attention or approval. And here's the harsh truth. Eagerness kills attraction. Attraction doesn't live in tension. It thrives in our relaxation. That's why one of the most magnetic gestures you can master is the ability to lean back casually, confidently, without a care. Picture this. You're at dinner with friends. The table is crowded, conversations crisscrossing, laughter everywhere. Most guys lean forward, elbows on the table, bodies tense, desperate to be part of the noise. You, on the other hand, lean back slightly. One arm drapes over the back of your chair. Your shoulders are open, your breathing slow, and your expression calm. You're not chasing attention. You're not trying to impress. It comes to you naturally. Here's why this works. Posture communicates mindset. A man leaning forward too much is signaling, I need your attention, I need validation. A man who leans back says, I'm comfortable here, I belong. I don't need to fight for space, it's already mine. Women instinctively associate our relaxation with confidence. Nervous people tighten up, insecure people shrink. Confident men expand, relax, and take up space naturally. That's magnetic. Another scene. You're sitting at a cafe with her. She's animated, telling a story. Instead of leaning forward like every other guy, you sit back, calm and relaxed. Your arm rests casually, shoulders open, legs relaxed. She begins to lean slightly toward you. Without realizing it, she's drawn into your frame, pulled by the gravity of your presence. Here's an advanced tip. Pair this posture with stillness. Don't fidget. Don't tap your fingers or bounce your leg. Stillness communicates dominance. It says, I control myself. I control this moment. Women notice it instantly. Think of kings on their thrones. They don't lean forward begging for approval. They sit back, calm and collected, commanding respect just by existing. Leaning back also creates space. And in psychology, space is power. By holding your frame, you allow her to lean towards you, investing her energy into closing the gap. That dynamic, her moving toward you instead of you chasing her, is one of the purest forms of attraction. The most powerful men don't chase attention. They attract it. They don't fight for space. They claim it effortlessly. Leaning back casually is your way of broadcasting that energy silently, without saying a word. Next time you're in a crowded setting, remember, don't lean forward, don't hunch, don't beg. Sit back, relax, own your space, and watch the room and her begin to orbit around you. 8. Pausing before you speak, making silence work for you. One of the most overlooked tools in attraction is silence. Most men feel the need to fill every moment with words, jokes, or small talk. But here's the truth. Silence creates power. Imagine this. You're talking with a woman, and she asks you a question or shares a story. Most guys rush to answer immediately, afraid of awkward gaps. That constant talking, over-explaining, or filling space kills intrigue. But when you pause before responding, something magical happens. Even a brief pause signals confidence. It says, I'm thoughtful, I'm in control, I don't need to rush. It gives your words weight and presence. And here's the fascinating part. Women notice this on a subconscious level. They feel drawn to the calm, deliberate energy you project. Let's visualize it. She's telling a story at a cafe, smiling, animated. You listen actively, eyes steady, body relaxed. When she finishes or pauses, instead of responding immediately, you pause for just a beat. Let the silence linger. She senses your presence fully. She leans in slightly. She waits, curious. When you finally speak, your words carry more impact because the pause created anticipation. It's subtle, almost invisible, but it shifts the energy. Conversations stop being about what you say. They become about how she feels around you. Here's an advanced tip. Combine the pause with slow, calm breathing and steady eye contact. That stillness creates a magnetic field. Her attention is fully on you. Even if you're surrounded by noise or chaos, the world seems to narrow down to just the two of you. The power of this move is simple. Women may forget what you said, but they never forget the moments where your presence made them feel something different. Silence done right communicates confidence, control, and attraction without a single word. So, next time you feel the urge to rush your words, pause instead. Let the quiet moments do the heavy lifting. Notice how she leans in, how her gaze lingers, how her energy subtly aligns with yours. That is the silent art of attraction. 9. Offering your hand or gentle guidance. Leadership without force. One of the most underrated yet powerful gestures is the simple act of offering your hand or giving gentle guidance. Now, don't picture old-fashioned or cheesy chivalry. This isn't about trying to be a knight in shining armor. It's about triggering something primal in her psychology, the need to feel safe and noticed in your presence. Women are naturally attuned to protective energy, but not controlling energy. When you show subtle physical leadership, it creates attraction in a way words never can. Picture this. You're walking together through a crowded street. Instead of charging ahead, lost in your own world, you lightly place your hand at the small of her back. Not pushing, not grabbing, just guiding. That touch silently says, "I've got you, I see you, you're safe with me." Instantly, she feels grounded. Another scenario, approaching a set of stairs or stepping off a curb, you extend your hand calmly, naturally, as if it's the most obvious thing in the world. She takes it. In that brief moment of contact, something profound happens. Trust is built, comfort is established, and attraction grows from that foundation. Here's the secret. Subtlety is everything. If you make it dramatic or announce it loudly, it loses power. But when it feels effortless, like instinct, she notices. She thinks, "This man leads. He protects without controlling. He makes me feel safe." Watch her response closely. If she accepts your hand without hesitation or even gives a light squeeze back, that's a clear sign of comfort and attraction. Her subconscious is showing alignment with yours. Here's another advanced layer. Imagine you're navigating through a busy bar. You place your hand lightly on her lower back to guide her past people. You don't speak, you don't overdo it. The touch alone communicates. "I notice you. I'm aware. I'm leading with care." She responds naturally, subtly moving with you, aligning herself with your energy. The psychology is simple. Humans are highly sensitive to touch, and women associate gentle, protective touch with safety, trust, and masculine presence. When you guide her effortlessly, she feels secure and drawn in, without a single word. True leadership isn't about shouting commands or controlling her actions. It's quiet, subtle, and effective. You guide, she feels safe. That's magnetic. The next time you're with her, crossing a street, walking into a crowded room, or stepping onto stairs, think about how you're leading, not just where you're going. Offer your hand naturally. Guide gently. These small, precise gestures show your awareness, confidence, and presence, and women notice. Remember, attraction isn't about being loud, flashy, or trying too hard. It lives in the small, silent gestures. The way you move, the way you hold your gaze, the subtle energy you give off. Start practicing these moves today. Watch how people respond. Watch how she leans in, mirrors you, and feels drawn to your presence. Your power has always been there. You just needed to use it. This is Get Her Mind, and I'm Amelia. Your transformation doesn't start tomorrow. It starts now.